Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Cheaters, Facebook and so forth. Advice. I am curious as to people who got cheated on. I deleted all the pics of her on my Facebook and thought of blocking her etc, but I don't know why she has not posted any photos of her new guy, let alone all of our family photos still there. I feel like asking her to remove all our photos. I know it's not my Facebook, but it's like she is still pretending we are family, but we are not. We are divorced with a 3-year-old. I literally deleted everything off my Instagram too. People still have reputations to uphold. Think of how many cheaters don't want the affair exposed because it will harm other people. I mean, I see a ton on here of people that were betrayed even questioning if they should expose it. They feel that they will hurt the cheater and people will be upset at the betrayal. That's the thing, right? We get hurt so badly, so why should we care, or are we supposed to be the better people? An eye for an eye, lol. It's not an eye for an eye. Look at it this way. Ever have a bad thought that you pushed down, like deep down, and tried to forget? Ever notice how many times it pops back up? And it's stronger than it started? It grows in the darkness. There is a reason they say to heal you have to go through the pain. You cannot rug sweep and hope it just goes away. Now, with cheating and affairs, they grow in secrecy and darkness. Why do you think it looks so good to a cheater? It's a fantasy world where nothing is wrong nor even real. So, to break that, you expose it to the light. You expose them to their friends and family. You get the narrative out there so people don't think you were abusive or the cheater or any negative thing they may say to try to keep the affair secret. So then you see stuff like you're seeing, where the cheater keeps up the pictures and acts like life is fine. Or if questioned, you were the one that did wrong, because why would you delete pics? Look, I'm still trying to keep the marriage/relationship going by showing we are still a family. Just food for thought. That's awesome. I do want to expose them, but it will destroy her. I know she won't reveal this new guy as he is a lot older and people would go WTF. You threw away your family for this old crusty guy. As said, my side practically knows she cheated. She is a moron to move to my city in 5 years as she planned to be with the kids, cause she will have no one but her side. A small group of crappy friends hiding her secret. Or maybe just wait for karma to come around, or just expose them would make the karma come around quicker. Don't. Just don't. Get out of her head, man. It's only causing you pain. You are already divorced. They are together. She's no longer cheating. It's no longer an affair, right? What's exposing them to help now? Your friends, I'm sure, know. And the people that matter to you know. You don't need to expose them to her friends. It doesn't matter. Focus on yourself. Get out of her head. I haven't changed my FB since the affair came out, and I filed, and neither has she, except our current profile pictures are just the one of us and the kids instead of all 4 of us, and we changed from married to separated. She still tags me in kids' pictures and so do I. Our old pics are all on there. Why? Why not? They are still my family. Times were good at times. I don't look at them. Unfollow her if you need to. Block her even if you have to. But get out of her head. Don't demand she take down pictures. Tell the truth that people you need to tell. You don't need to expose her to her close friends, which would just justify her claims that you are the insecure and overbearing person she has already painted you out to be. You know you can be calmer, right? Honestly, I would expose the truth. I just feel that for the sheer effort to keep it secret, that people should be freed of secrets and lies. That way whatever happens, karma, consequences, etc., will be dealt with. I mean, she's allowed to be with this old dude, but she needs to also realize, or friends do, her true character. She's living a charade. I joke to my bro that I will bring the rain as in Karmas soon, but have to wait till July for when my kid will move in with me. I would love to bring the karma now, but it's all strategy at the moment for my daughter's sake. That's fine. If that's your plan, just bring the rain when you can. I know a lot of BS down the road really are upset with themselves they never exposed it, even thinking a few years later if they still should. Just make sure you're at peace with whatever decision you make. There are no do-overs on this stuff once the dust settles. Since it's still swirling, it's prime time to add to it. I feel you, mate. I want it to rain now. I was ready to if she did not sign the custody agreement giving my kid in July. I would have taken her to court for infidelity, which I would have won and would have told her mom, and that would have escalated to World War III. This is Asian culture at its best. People don't want to lose face, but I was going to go all in even if there was a chance was losing my kid forever, but I wanted to drag her through the mud for the shit she put everyone through, especially my 3-year-old who she prayed for. My kid was not asked to be brought into this world, and in the end you choose an old dude over your family and the kid is messed up. What exactly is a foot fetish? I was told by a woman, that her new BF likes nice feet. So she starts putting cream on her feet to avoid it being dry and stuff and taking care of it. So men get off feet like this. I am curious. Same as a hand job but with feet? I don't have a foot fetish, but usually fetishes directly involve some interaction. Someone with a foot fetish might like to see feet, touch feet, suck feet and toes, duck toes. Any combination of said things could apply. I have a heel fetish. Women in heels are an instant turn on for me. I don't have a desire to lick them, but seeing them while I duck, like a leg up so the heels are on my shoulders, for instance, is a giant turn on. I also love women wearing nylons or fishnets. To put this into perspective, I love blowjobs. I love coming in a woman's mouth and having her swallow. But, because of the heel fetish, sometimes I'd rather come all over her nylons and heels. Fetishes rarely make sense, so don't look for logical explanations. Pretty much yes, not just the hand job with feet aspect but also some cases, smelling, kissing and giving foot rubs. Some guys see it as foreplay on both parts for massage then foot job, as others can get off from it. Spend enough time on some foot r/ and you may get ideas as to how and why it's a thing for some men. I mean, it's a fetish, so yeah. As far as I can tell by reading about it, you are either on your feet or you're not. Like it seems to be either a part of your sexuality. Not that there is a consensus since it's not really the most important area of research. Different foot fetishists like different feet though. Just the way you might like some boobs but not like others. Liking nice feet isn't the same as a fetish. I have many men say they like a woman who keeps a fresh pedi and her nails painted. My husband will often pay for a pedi but he doesn't get off on my feet. I assume he just doesn't want to look at dry, crusty feet. When it's a fetish, the feet are a part of sexual arousal. I had an acquaintance that liked pictures of feet, would jerk off to them, and when he had a willing partner would do the same in person. Touching them and being touched by them turned him on. He had a fetish. Just a rant about my ex-wife. Advice. Just over 2 months since D-Day. I tried to motivate myself to hate her, not a good thing, in order to move on quickly and to be strong for my 3-year-old who will move with me in a couple of months. Every time I see pics of my kid I get the shits with her, thinking how the hell can you do this to the kid you prayed for? During the whole emotional stuff in the first few weeks of D-Day, we both cried and say to each other that we hope we can be a family again one day. I refuse to let that happen since I have detached from my emotions and 99% probability I will never take her back. I have packed all the expensive stuff she bought me over the years, removed all the photos off my phone and my laptop into an external storage drive, and pretty much bought new stuff to be the new me. I woke up pissed off today for some reason. She left 2 credit cards deep inside my wallet which I only knew about a few weeks back. First week into D-Day she asked for them back, but somehow she put them back a few days later. People are saying she still loves you and still cares about me, especially with the credit cards gesture. I have decided to give the credit cards back to her. Before she enters my life, I adapt and survive on my own. I had a job, bought my own car and house, but I sold it all to move to the country to be with her. When she leaves my life, I will again be able to adapt and survive. I don't need her pity. I am the one that pity her for throwing away her reputation and having to explain to her daughter one day why she betrayed her dad. My motivation is that I need to be strong for my daughter, as I now need to be the mom and the dad that she required, and I am sure one day her mom will come back and try to win her love with money if she still has money. Her parents aren't getting any younger and quite old, and she has never worked in her life. Did she really run off with the old guy because she was now getting worried about the money in the future? Any sane person would stay with their family and fight on, and we had a comfortable life, but I guess some people are just too greedy and don't appreciate what they have. My advice is to go to survivinginfidelity.com. There you'll get advice and support on how to get through this devastating period in your life. Good luck, my friend. Does a massive age difference relationship last? As per the title, does age difference like someone 40 and someone 60 generally last? I see and hear about all these women in their 40s probably going through midlife crisis and cheating with someone as old as their dad. Does this relationship last, or more of a fantasy feel-good crap? Too general a question. Some last and others don't. It depends. My last relationship at 50/20 her lasted over 4 years. That seems crazy to me. How did it function? Weren't you guys at 2 vastly different points in life? That different points of life can be an advantage. For example, she was doing a course at a low-quality university and wanted to move to a London one. There's no way she could afford London living costs, whereas I easily rented an apartment in London, and profited from it because London rates for my line of work are much better. We shared interests, and allowed each other time to do our own thing. As for the possibility of children, you may note from my posts that I'm open to the idea, and a life insurance policy would protect the welfare of any children just in case. In summary, being at different points in life can be good if you exploit it. I'm currently 20 and had a super hard time dating a 28-year-old, so I was super curious. Thanks for responding. r/age gap relationship, you'll see a number of posts from happy couples with large age gaps. Women in their 40s probably going through midlife crisis and cheat with someone as old as their dad. Did I detect an incel? Men can have midlife crisis too. For sure, no doubt. Do age gap relationships like say 40s and 60s last, plus why cheat with a much older person? As per the title. And why would someone in their 40s cheat with someone who is in their 60s? Why cheat with anyone? You're not getting what you want, and they'll give you what's missing. Cheating is not worth the trouble. Age gap relationships may or may not work depending on whether both people are willing and if no major deal breakers come up. Much like any other relationship. I got cheated on. Just seeing what the go is with this age gap. I'm going to guess it's personality looks. Sorry they put you through that. Been there, it sucks. All good. Just really want to know why someone would run off a much older dude when we have a 3-year-old. It's not the age gap, it's the cheating. If they cheat, they are cheaters. It's that simple, other factors are secondary. Just a rant. D-Day 2 months, 10 years together, 3-year-old kid. Rant X40s running off with dude in his 60s, said needed time etc, divorced. So we lived in different countries before we got married. I have come across a house that I like. We have a good joint savings which we decided I will use to buy a house for me to raise our daughter in. Our plan was always to move back to my home country in a few years, but now the plan is -1. First time we actually chatted since we divorced via email, but it was rapid back and forth. She won't be joining us anytime soon as far as I am aware, unless she truly misses her kid, but I doubt it as she is in La La Land too much. I still have that empty feeling of her not being around and anger as to why I ran off and left us behind. My daughter will move to my country with me in July. I now have to be strong mentally to ensure I can do this on my own. I have family and friends for support. She still say to her brother, my brother, and myself that she will continue with the plan of working at the family business for 5 to 6 years, then move over to be with the daughter. Sometimes, I really want to know what she is really thinking. It's like she is not even planning a long-term relationship with this old dude, but in the back of her mind, she still wants a family long-term. She even told my nephew that she will travel with this old dude, and then probably realized this is not what she wants. I go back and forward. Some days are good and some days are bad. Today is a bad day. She truly confused the crap out of me, and I can't help but think, what are you really thinking? How can she think long term with this guy? He's old, he won't be around long term. I think this would be more of a short term. I don't know. She is keeping this new relationship really secret. I wouldn't keep that secret for her. Affairs rarely can survive the light of day. Well, all my side pretty much know she cheated. Her side is not really. Her brother and her dad know, but not her mom, but it seems like she doesn't care. She used to love our daughters to bits, now neglects her. I don't know how someone with all the right ethics, values, and perspective like me did a U-turn. I think you need to go to the courts and sue for full custody/child support. Your wife is neglecting your daughter to duck some old wrinkly guy who, if God is good, will have a heart attack sometimes soon. Your wife deserves nothing in the divorce. Please tell me that you are not willing to be her option B, that you are moving forward with divorcing her and focus on you and the kids. If she crawls back, slam the door on her. No. The only thing I will be open to, if you let her be the mom that my daughter deserved, but not as my wife again. It's your job to protect your daughter from this woman. Just because she gave birth to her does not mean she's a good mother that needs to be in her life. You are 100% right. You daughters are not safe with her, they will be better off without her. Why give her a chance for her to come back to both you and your daughter? She abandoned both of you for this guy. Don't let her come back for no consequence, divorce her, and let her dig her own grave for her own doings. After you ghost her after the divorce, just focus on your child and your career. Let your daughter know she is loved and you will always be there for her. Don't let your ex confuse, use and manipulate you, because that's what she is doing. She is stringing you along until she is done having fun with this old guy, then she will come back as if nothing happened. Remove her from your lives, cause she doesn't deserve to be in it. You and your daughter deserve someone who cares about you both. True. I am kinda going back and forward. Well, you will never know, because your frame of reference is not her frame of reference. Do not take her back unless she gets treatment for why she did what she did in the first place. Do not be fooled, there is a void inside her that she tries to fill and never can, so even if she does come back, the problem is not fixed and she will do it again. The attention she gets from the other guy is so important to her that she is willing to sacrifice her stability for. It sounds like she is either a serial cheater, has done it before, or more likely is wavering in and out of the affair fog. When reality finally and fully hits, she will be back. As usual, these things all follow a predictable series. Communication was poor. So she didn't express her feelings, wants and needs to you. And you had suspicions, but as usual they were ignored because you trusted blindly, and besides, this shit only happens to others, never ourselves. So it goes on undetected until the emotional connection kicks in, and then it is like a landslide and cannot be stopped. The entire thing seems crazy. And that is exactly what it is. She is in the affair fog, an altered state of consciousness. She truly is not herself. Do you want her back? That is the main question at present. I am out of time. If you wish I can continue with more later. I can tell you why she took up with an older man, not her ideal asshole. Why did she hook up with an older person? This guy is the opposite type of guy she would normally date too. I mean culture-wise. She always said she would never date this particular race due to culture, and suddenly she is doing the opposite. She is literally doing the opposite of what she used to believe in terms of values and ethics. How can someone throw away everything for one guy? This isn't love nor worthy to throw it all away. So, do you want her back? Affairs defy all logic, but psychologists think they have figured most things out, but nothing is assured when dealing with the human mind. And theories are not fact and get revamped as time goes on. I suggest you research on the net, for yourself, all you can about cheating, infidelity, and also about reconciling from being cheated on. In most instances this is not so much about choices as it is about getting lost in our own minds. We are after all just human, and everything we do is driven by chemicals, hormones, generated in our brains that create feelings of bonding, love, and even hate, rage. There is far too much to try explaining, and it branches in many different directions. Suffice it to say, you either accept the explanation or you reject it. Have you ever wondered how people are capable of taking their own life? I mean, look at how incredibly difficult that would be. Even as upset and hurt as you are right now, suicide is obviously not an option. So how do people do it? Basically the same way that hypnotism works, and the same way that normally loving, caring partners can cheat and F up their entire lives and everyone around them. They are in an altered state of consciousness. The trick is to kick them back to reality. They act crazy, because they are insane, at least temporarily. And when they come back, so apologetic and confused over their own behavior, they do not know what the hell happened. Look these things up for yourself, and while you are at it, take a look on the net, at the neuroscience of love. Love is not what we think it is. Good luck. Too much damage has been done. I want her to come back as a mother to my 3-year-old daughter, but not as my wife, if that makes sense. I have googled and read a lot about it. Mentally, she has gone nuts, and it is just too high. She is getting like drugs, as one of my former friends who was a drug addict at one stage but recovered. I have tried to kick her back to reality but unable to, and a lot of good people have tried but unable to. The only people she listens to is a small group of idiots who have done nothing in life except go round and round. I got a quick divorce to show her this is the reality now, and I have backed away from her since divorce, to the point of emailing her only, and in 3 months, our daughter will move in with me, in another country. Maybe then she will realize she has no one left, good and loyal people anyway. For her sake, I hope she wakes up, but at this stage of my life I cannot forgive and forget for picking an old man over family and daughter. Statistically, none of these affairs continues beyond 3 years. How can a relationship that is based upon every wrong in a relationship ever last? It cannot. Very sorry for your loss. I hope you aren't considering taking her back when she realizes what she lost. No. She has done a lot of damage. The best thing she could do is be the mom that my daughter deserved. Nothing more and nothing less. Cheaters with kids. Do you stay as friends? Post-separation curious. Everyone including the ex said we need to stay as friends for the sake of our daughter, so we can go on a family trip together in the future. How can you stay friends with someone who betrays you and your own kid/s? The irony is that they said we need to stay as friends for the sake of our kid, but you should have never cheated in the first place for the sake of our kid. I have pretty much gone North Carolina unless it was necessary, and I emailed instead of texting. Sometimes, I did not even bother to reply to her texts, and she's getting the idea that I no longer want to talk to her, nor is she a priority anymore. Picking my kid up next week to spend time with me for a few weeks. I feel like telling her to get her brother to drop our kid off at the airport, as I prefer not to see her and have as few interactions as possible. There are no future family trips for me, and there is no future family kid birthday for me personally. Why is she so obsessed with family trip? To duck, is this girl crazy? That's the last thing people care about in this situation. Let me guess, maybe she wants Sop to pay for the family trip so she gets free trips from both sides. Super cake eater. Get her brother to send you the kid instead. The last thing you want is your ex going crazy and confusing the hell out of your kid. Ha ha ha, she has her dad giving her money, plus the new old grandpa's boyfriend will spoil her with brand name bags, shoes, and watches. I ain't paying. I mean, even if she pays, it is still a no for me. I have no idea on the logic of a family trip, and would her new boyfriend trust her to be with me? Lol. Her dad is rich? Maybe she left you a cut from her dad's money. Wouldn't say rich, but she has never worked before and her allowance was cut drastically. I think this is part of the reason she went with old dudes. She probably was influenced by her idiotic friends. Go with this old guy and he will take care of you. Absolutely not. Be clear that communication needs to be limited to only parenting and your child. Your relationship is strictly as co-parents. Her fog is lifting, my friend. Trust me. Why do you say her fog is lifting? I truly do not understand about the family trip, and I even offered the kid for his birthday and she said our kid would want us for her birthday, and I said I am sure our kid wants us by her side every day, but that's not going to happen now. Bridges have been burnt. I have told her that about communication, but in bits and pieces. We never really had a chance to sit down and talk. It was like a big blur. Your ex is hoping that by remaining friends, it will ease her guilt. See, we're still friends, so my betrayal can't have been that bad, right? I have not seen two sentences make this much sense until now. This guy is 100% right. Maybe she wants you around as a backup or a plan B, makes certain you stick around and when needed you can help out. It may be worth some communication to ask her and tell her absolutely not. Everyone says we need to stay friends. Everyone can get bent. You can be a neutral and civilly co-parent, but you don't have to be friends with someone who treated you with such cruelty and disrespect. Unless she makes a true amends to you and shows true remorse, and remorse is very different than just showing guilt, then being her friend is basically sending the message that what she did was okay and you're okay with being deceived and betrayed. But you should have never cheated in the first place for the sake of our kid. Amen. I said this when she said crap about me about having the kid's best interest and doing everything to make this easy on them. FFU. You chose to break up their family. You chose to cheat on their father. You chose to only see them half the time. I never got that choice and never would have chosen that. D-Day was almost 2 years ago. I'd like to get to a place where I can tolerate being in the same room as her, but she feels no remorse or has shown no effort to become a better person. That's terrible. Sorry to hear that. If we did not have a kid, it would be easier to move on. Just like I can't have a romantic relationship with someone I can't trust, I also can't be friends with someone I can't trust. I am pleasant and we co-parent, but that is as far as it goes. Our kids still want us to hang out, but I have told them that it isn't a good idea. Exactly. She used to be like my friends and I, but she is exactly like her friends, and my friends and her friends are the exact opposite of each other's in terms of values and ethics. I would never be friends with the embryos of the person she has become. You should stay civil for the sake of your children. For example, I would not go out for a drink with my ex, but I can be with my ex at a party where she's present. My story with my ex is bad, but the guilt and shame is on her, not me. I did what was correct for me and my kid. I am still civil when I discuss our kid and will continue to do so. Just don't expect me to go on family trips, cause that's bizarre, nor birthday parties. How long before your partner comes back after cheating? Question: I am curious. I also post in the Surviving Infidelity group. When you got cheated on and they ran off with someone else, how long before they return and why did they return? Just curious. 6 to 7 months, But I'd never advise someone to wait around for a WS to come back, or to do the pick me dance. There would be no here to come back to. I agree with Dazzling. Don't wait for them to come back. They will come back when the AP and then break up, but not because they are sorry. Looking over your post. What are you doing in the meantime? Are you working on yourself? Gaining back confidence and self-worth? Going on dates? I will be blunt. I see you waiting in the shadows and doing a pick-me dance to get your wife back. Sorry if this sucks to read, but nothing in your posts really shows a united effort to reconcile. So if you really do want to reconcile, you need to get back to a single man baseline. Confident in who you are. Confident you can get another woman, if you desire. Be desirable to other women. Doing hobbies to round out / grow as an individual. Working out and eating healthy to be a better, healthier version of yourself. If you're just waiting around and using posts to gauge how long she will be gone for, there really is no reason for her to come back, and you'll be in a lower position and accepting of her behaviors. Please work on yourself and throw yourself into your work, hobbies and habits, positive please. Because I see the writing on the wall that something will happen with her AP and she is going to come back. But it'll be as a second choice / placeholder if you're not mentally / physically in a better headspace to flip the script and have the respect for yourself that you deserve better, or even be in a better place to dictate rules / consequences / boundaries to rebuild a healthier relationship. To be fair, I divorce her within 2 months. I dictate how the story finishes. I have ignored her call and texts and only emailed her when I needed to in order to inform her on relevant stuff. My kid is getting neglected by her, and this is what worries me the most. My kid will move in with me in July, but a few months is a long wait for your kid. I don't want her back as my partner, but I would like her to be that mother she was before the old guy came into her life. My kid deserved a better mom, not the current mom. Once July comes, I can rest at ease that my kid is with me, but at the same time I know my kid will have that empty feeling without her mom. And that's on her. You cannot fix a deadbeat parental figure. So once July rolls around, your child is fully your responsibility. It's really up to A, your ex-wife wanting to be a part of your child's life, and B, your child wanting your ex-wife in their lives. They get to make that decision. The only thing you cannot do is force it or talk badly about her to your child. Leave the door open for your ex to come back, but strictly in a motherly role. Everything else is outside your control, so don't even entertain or try to figure it out. Thanks, mate. My kid is only 3.5. I never had the intention of talking badly about her to the kid. At the end of the day, her mom needs to be the one explaining to her why ran off with an old dude and why she chose her happiness over her own family and child. She said that was not me. I told her your kid should be our priority, and she said what about my happiness, which I had no answer to. But in hindsight, I should have said, you lived your life already, now it's your daughter's turn. I am hoping her mom will try to redeem herself for her daughter's sake. The longer it takes, the harder it will be for her to redeem herself. But you are right. July can't come quick enough. Ex-wife, 40F, cheated with an old dude, 60M. We have a 3-year-old daughter. Instinct. I flew home early and asked my nanny who exactly went to the coast on the weekend. My nanny eyes grew wide. She spilled the beans. Ex-wife even used my kid as an excuse to go to the coast. My nanny and 3-year-old daughter was in one room while she, 42F, was ducking an old dude, 60 meters, in another room. Funny as a few months earlier she asked to live separately for a while, which made sense. Even one night she came home drunk and said it would have been perfect. She would have gone to her happy place and feel happy and then come back to the family, but the nanny stuff everything up. I didn't get it at the time, but luckily I knew something was up. Apparently the room lit up with scented candles and shit too, according to my nanny. This old guy is not exactly a handsome guy either. I have no idea what the heck my ex-wife was thinking. But apparently he poured her water and bought her a Chanel bag. I guess a good trade. Her deadbeat's friends who were at the coast even encouraged her, saying this guy will chase after you and he has money and will give you money and get to travel business class. She chose this old dude over family and daughter. Like wow. There weren't any major money issues. Either that or she got greedy. Pretty sure this dude has a foot fetish too, as I noticed my wife started to wear slippers around the house and then put lots of cream on her feet so no cracked skins. My nanny told me the guy doesn't like cracked feet/skins. So foot fetish, yeah? Lol. Edit, nothing with foot fetish either. Just pointing out the old guy. What's his 5-year plan? Don't die? Adam Sandler in Big Daddy. You'll be missing me when you have that big white wrinkly body on top of you with his loose skin and old balls. Gross. Hey Sonny, is that the guy with the old balls? No, I'm glad to get the update. You did the right thing, my friend. Was she okay with divorce or try reconciliation? Op, you sound like you have your stuff together. You will do well in this new chapter of your life. There are so many beautiful, faithful ladies in your dating pool who will love to meet an honorable guy like you. Hang in there, my friend. Dude, all she kept saying was she needed time to find herself and that she wish and pray that we would come back as a family in the future. She had no problem signing the divorce. Just weird that she left so quickly with this guy. I think this is a fantasy and she will fall hard when she wakes up. I have my good and bad days, but everyone said I did well to turn around and get divorced within 2 months. I ain't going to stand by and share my wife. She started but I dictate how it ended. Just feel bad for my 3-year-old daughter. I understand you. You will be there for your daughter. Just because your wife and daughter's mother abandoned you doesn't mean you won't be a great dad. You will be awesome for her. Good luck, my friend. Good on you, bro. Trying to find herself is always code for hop from dick to dick while she hopes you stay for later. Every single time. Just feel bad for my 3-year-old daughter. Hope she is with you, and not with you ex. Trading sex and her family's happiness for money. That's worse than a whore. The bit about the nanny and your daughter being in the next room while they are ducking seems to be grounds for 100% custody. I hope it works out for you. You truly did well to rid yourself of her. I don't normally suggest divorce, but she has little or no remorse, and it's not going to set in until this relationship crashes and burns. It will. Trust me, it will. And you will see her again. Count on it. We got divorced 2 months later. Gave her many chances to do the right thing but still chose the old guy over me and our daughter, which nobody understands. Did she even try to explain herself? You know, you can get old trying to figure out the motivations. You probably will never hear the reason why. She might not even know herself. Started with I didn't take care of her like poor water, then it went to she was not happy since September, then it went to unhappy for the last 3 years, then it went to unhappy for the last 5 years, and then it went to me leaving empty water bottles in the cart, a whole range of crap which I can also write about all the petty things she has done but won't. I think what happened was these 2 idiot friends came back into her life and she started drinking again, and then suddenly this whole excitement started again. She was a big drinker when we dated, but she mellowed out for my sake. Lots of late nights started to occur and I criticized her, saying we have a kid at home. She went out like every second night and stay out till 2 a.m. One thing led to another and her friends probably thought this old guy has money. He will take good care of you even though she has her own money. You can party and don't have to worry about your husband. You have all you need to give her a righteous boot out the door. She's not salvageable, and it's a pity she didn't care enough about her own family to give a shit. I'm sorry, man. I suggest you use the internet to discover as much about infidelity as you possibly can. This all started with a lack of proper communication. Not how was your day kind, but the kind where you share and discuss everything important to one another. The kind where you both strive to stay clear of the ruts that develop over the same old familiarity in a relationship. If you read enough of these accounts, a pattern emerges of problems with communication. The love dies, a partner looks elsewhere to replace it. A friendship develops, love comes rushing back, often unintended. An emotional affair progresses to a physical affair. What the affair person has to offer matters not at all as long as they provide that one missing item that sparks the love once again. Older, uglier, obese, no teeth, no money, or too much money, it does not matter. One thing for certain, it will not likely last. The affair partner is not truly providing an entire relationship. And when the affair fog lifts, she will try coming back. Bet on it. Shitty friends and your nanny were not helpful in any way, they all made matters worse. Affairs defy logic because it is a matter very close to insanity. The entire thing, the deceptions, the lies, the gaslighting, all of it is insane. Truly insane. But it is usually only temporary. And we love spouses, trusting, never ever allowing ourselves to even consider that our loving partner would ever cheat on us, just keep ignoring all the signs that something is simply not right. We tend to believe their weird lies, which only allows the affair to continue. Not everyone cheats, but damn there certainly are many that do. Look up on net, the neuroscience of love. Love is not what we think it is. Good luck to you. It was a friend of a friend apparently. I never met him. Apparently this guy was interested in her 10 years ago, but she chose me. My nanny told me the guy doesn't like cracked feet/skins. So foot fetish, yeah? Lol. Maybe, but probably not. I hate, with the passion of fiery suns, dry, cracked, or rough skin on feet. I make sure to take care of my feet because few men want rough heels rubbing up and down their back, thigh, calf, etc. skin during foreplay or sex. I've read your other post. Haven't you divorced that nasty skank yet? For your own self-preservation, get away from that dirty hag. What's the update? You and your daughter shouldn't be around her. Good luck, sir. I divorced her a few weeks back. Just telling the story on this sub. Sorry if I am not supposed to. Bet she'll have a grand time changing his diapers. Also, it sucks, but a lot of women, myself included, go through a bit of a fucked up identity screw up when they become a mum. I'm not condoning any actions or saying it makes sense, but it happens. It's like you now hear society saying, hey, you're a mum now, good job, mission accomplished. From this day forward you will be at the beck and call of every member of your immediate family. You'll do it for love of course, but don't expect any recognition or even any acknowledgement that you even really matter anymore. Just keep everyone satisfied, happy and fed, continuously, and you can get a Mum of the Year award on Facebook. No rhyme or reason needed for a mum to feel like this, but yeah, pretty common occurrence. I myself have a couple of hard regrets concerning some decisions I made when my kids were babies/toddlers, and also an impulsive mediocre arm tat to show for it. I have heard. Few of my friends are going through the same thing. Not cheating but just divorce because after having a kid, women seem to hit some midlife crisis or something which no one seems to get. Children get affected by parents who are divorced. Rant background. Ex ran off with old dude. D-Day 3 months now. I miss my kid every day and I told my ex this is something I will never forgive her. I miss my kid saying morning papa, love you papa, or her calling for me papa. She is only 3 but I feel as she know and sense I am no longer by her side. The last time I saw her was a month ago when I went to visit her at daycare. For the last 3 months I cried for her and she always say cry. But that day was different. She cried with me and hugged me tight. I spoke to MX via email about travel. And she told me that my daughter for the past week slept in the main bed and exactly the spot where I used to sleep, and she can't get her to go to her bed. Just a rant to say I truly missed my daughter and miss seeing her smile every day. Kids are affected by unhappy parents. Kids are affected by divorce. Both are true. Kids are very affected by both of these things. People who leave their marriages, especially the ones who cheated, always try to tell themselves that it will be better for the kids in the long run because they will see their parents happy. This is not true. First of all, they may see one parent acting like a selfishly happy person who found someone new and shiny to replace what made them unhappy, which the kids internalize as being them, but they see the other parent very unhappy. And that makes them confused and anxious, and they develop abandonment issues. The kids will see that their parents achieved happiness by hurting others, and that their parents have a skewed and messed up vision of what happiness is in the first place. Living in an intact family where the parents fight all the time is not good for kids. But divorce most certainly affects the children in the long term, no matter if it is fairly amicable or very high conflict. It is just an unfortunate truth that both of these facts are very true. What county is she from and you are from? Australia? What is keeping you from seeing your daughter? Tell her that you and mommy cannot live together anymore, but not because of her. Show her that you still want to be there for her. When you tell her that you will see, do it. Do not stand her up. Make every effort to be in her life and all will be well with her and you. Nothing to do with your ex. We think we have to be there all the time with the children, but it is better to have loving contact than to continue a relationship in a toxic environment. I moved back home to a different country. My daughter will come live with me in July, so not too far away. As long as you are there for her when you say you will be there for her, you are okay. Besides, you can stay in contact via electronic media also, so that she knows you are there to support her. It is not the quantity but the quality that is important. They are more affected by unhappy parents who are in terrible relationships. That's from my experience. How the children handle divorce has everything to do with how the parents handle the divorce. If both act like responsible adults, putting the child's interest front and center, they can minimize the emotional blow to the infant. If one or both act like dreadful people, then yeah, it can have a devastating impact on the child's development. Impossible. The kid will still RMB it. It has impacted the kid psychologically already. But worry not, Op still has great influence over her wife's happiness. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.